Hi everyone, I am Amanda, and this is Real Talk. Real Talk is about real issues and real stories. I'll be having conversations with different persons from different backgrounds, and this is where you'll get real nuggets. Stay tuned. Hey family, thank you so much for tuning in another video, and today I'll be having Lorna Panton. So she's a teacher, a mother, she is a motivator, a counselor, a beam for everything. So stay tuned and hear her story. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in another episode, and today we'll be having Lorna Panton and we'll be having it lunch style. So I'll be having fried rice with sesame chicken, and she'll be having fried rice with sesame seed chicken too. So we'll be talking about all about Lorna, her journey, what it was like growing up for her, who is Lorna, and we're going to dig into now.
Hi, welcome, and thank you, Amanda, for having me. And I love your channel. I love what it's doing for young persons, and how it is motivating other person's life. Well, life for Lorna Panton growing up, I've been to several communities, several districts, and originally we left Waterhouse and went to Clarendon in my early years. So we were living in Buckner district. So we came through the 1980s election, where we went through, our house was burnt down through politics, and we had to go to a children's home at age 6.
At age what?
The age of 6. I was 6.
And what community is it that is?
We were living in Buckner in Clarendon, near to Canaanites, and in the height of the 80 election, where they had gas war. It was very bloody. And we went to children's home. When we went to the children's home now, our parents, they came to the children's home as well, and the children's home was vandalized. And at the children's home, we had to, persons were given food, and in Jamaica, I'm not sure if it's happening now, but back then, it wasn't so wonderful. We learned to become runners, because when they give us the food and the food had worms, nobody wanted to eat it.
Worm was in the food?
Right, because they kept the food so long, it started to be infested, and they didn't want to throw it away, so they still cook it.
So wait, you will learn up on time go through there?
Yes! At the age of 6, my elder sister was there, and for all those persons who were they call them the peepee beds, they put them in one room together. So at that age, I learned how to pick soursop to give my sister, because I didn't want her to be in that room. So we picked soursop and gave her the stem to eat, to say, hurry up,
try to for persons who are international, we're based, when they eat soursop, what happens?
It helps you not to have a urinary, to pee up yourself then, to urine every minute. It stops that.
Yeah.
So I helped her to overcome that issue. So when they gave us, we sat at the table at a big meal, and everybody was like, all right, who is the runner? Who's the fastest person? So my little sister, she was about 4 at the time. She was the fastest of us all, because I was like big and chunky, So we did a relay with the food. Eldest one scraped out on the table in another thing, and they scraped out and they reached to us. I passed it to her and she ran, and we dump it and come back and act as if we were eating. So we had to do a lot of pretense. When my father came with the food now, I was the person who was talking, because when my father came with the food, I love food, so I checked everything. I checked every bowl, I checked every Milo, I checked everything. So they said, your father go to your room. I said, I'm checking everything, so I'm hiding and I'm checking everything. So when the food short, when my father come back next time, I said, Daddy, they didn't give us the Milo, they didn't give us the last one. I could tell my father
what and what
were missing and what we did not get. So our parents
You were
had
a
to,
leader from at
right
that
at that
age.
age,
Yes,
at that
you were
age,
a
and
leader
then
from that age.
we had to go to court for them to get us back in 1980. And on our way to court, we were packed in a police car. 6 persons to the police car, and then it was raining. I never forgot that day. At the age of 6, it was raining, and then the police vehicle hit down a little girl.
Whoa.
And then they had to put the little girl across us to take the little girl to the hospital, but thank God she did not die.
That means you go through a lot of
It was
trauma.
a lot.
Yeah.
And then we went to the court, and my father said he wanted us, and then from Clarendon we moved to Concrete Jungle, Arnett Gardens, Concrete Jungle.
Wait.
Yes.
So you're from Arnett Garden too?
Yes, I was living on 10th Street. I was living on 10th Street for a good little while. I went to Jonestown Primary.
Whoa.
So when I went to Jonestown
You know that I am
Primary.
learning as you guys are learning.
Yes.
So like.
When I went to Jonestown Primary now, I had this teacher, Mrs. Jones, grade 1. She made sure that for all those persons who needed to read, and even though I am a reading specialist and I learned to read, I got it from her.
Yeah.
She lined us up one by one every morning. Like you have early class, you had to read I Am Big, I Am Little, I Am Palm, the tree, mango tree, little mango trees, and all of those books.
Yeah,
We had to read them.
books, yeah.
So each person had to read a paragraph before class started every morning, Mrs. Jones. Then I did not play because I wasn't the type of person who liked a lot of friends. I tried to do a lot of reading, and I like building things.
Yeah.
So even at grade 1, I was trying to build a kite, I was building skates.
You're more physical.
Right. I was going to, there was a basic school called Putu Basic School in Jonestown. I used to go over by the school. Even though I helped the little kids to read, I used to eat all them food. So I was a foodie person. So even though the teachers didn't mind because they knew, so they would probably put together some food for me. So I was helping them to read, helping them to write, and they were feeding me, paying me back with food. So that was really great. In grade 2 now, we had a teacher called Miss Ivy.
Yeah.
Her powder was the chalk, the dust. So the class went way back to the background, and she didn't think, don't think that she didn't see you, because you get a big ticket when you were right. You get a 2 big round bang when you're wrong, and your book classroom was upstairs, so your book goes downstairs. Anything you get wrong, so you were supposed to be always right. Yeah. And she said, I know you can do it. You can do it. Your parents did not send you to me for you to be a failure. You're going to pass this class, and don't think you're coming out. You're not leaving. So once you got into her class, everybody was afraid to go into her class.
Yeah.
Once you get into her class, you must pass. We had some students, even though they were going to Johnson Primary and Arnett Gardens, were stigmatized.
Yeah.
We had
maybe still is.
Still is.
Yeah.
We had a lot of students from Johnson Primary who are international today. We have Renato, one of my classmates. His mother used to sell chicken back and bread by the schoolyard, and I don't even know if she made a profit because her food daily was to feed the school. I don't know if she said if she made any money, because her chicken back and bread was like $20,
Okay.
and a lot of persons could not afford it.
Whoa.
So she used to give it away, a piece. She used to cut it in 2 and ensure that everybody had a meal. So
kind of keep us far away from primary days to high school. What was your high school like?
All right. My high school at Charles Smith, I am a language person. I love language.
Yeah.
And then at Charles Smith, a lot of persons were getting pregnant by 7th grade, pregnant by 8th grade. And a group of us, about 11 of us, made a decision. Mr. Ryan was the principal at that time, Mr. Greg, we made a decision that, hey, we are not going to fail this year. From 1986 to 1991, this must be the best year of Charles Smith. So we asked the principal to give us a school meeting the Monday morning.
Yeah.
And we're saying, we know guns are in the community, we know badness, but this is not your conclusion. You must have an education to propel you further.
And this again, the leadership qualities as
right.
well.
So we decided for all those persons coming into Charles Smith for those years, everybody must pass. So I'm gonna lead the charge of English. We had a Bridget Williams who was accounts, Shami and Shango accounts, persons who did the sciences, the drawing, the electrical, we grouped them.
Okay.
And then we made it a point of duty to meet everybody. Homework must be done. So classwork must be done. Schoolwork must be done. We even we walked to JBC at the time to enter school challenge quiz. And they said, "You're from Charles Smith." So when we went there, they turned us down. And we were really disappointed. But we did not let that stop us. We were saying everybody from 7-1 to 7-5, I think, at that time must pass. And who needed to do CXC, who didn't have any money, we employed some persons from the community because we met with parents. And we were saying for those who did not have lunch.
Sorry about the nice guy.
We asked persons from the canteen, persons from the community to donate flour, rice, chicken, mackerel. And we asked the person from the canteen to either use the home room or use the canteen to provide breakfast for those who did not have.
That was great.
So we had a girl, Diana Ritchie. She should love pizza. Natalie Brown, Natalie White. For those who could afford, they donated rice, flour. So we had breakfast in the morning, porridge. And parents volunteered to come wash up the plate, cook, and from there we had our leadership and we had devotion. Never forget about God, because He's important in terms of our praying. We had devotion every Monday morning where we invite young persons like ourselves from church, from communities, from any church. We even invited some persons who spoke about Rastafarian and all of that. We wanted to know. So because we wanted to be well-rounded individuals, we invite persons from everywhere to come and speak to us.
That was great.
And that held. My teacher, Max, him say, I read too much Bible, so and I signed him up for any CXC in high school, because all I do is read Bible and talk. And I said,
so when you left Charlie Smith, you left with no subjects?
I went and told my mother that the teacher said, "Nah, send me for the CXC." I said, "They don't work, I'll pay for my CXC myself."
Okay. So bring us to now life after high school.
Well, I know. I go pay City Hills for CXC. I don't pass. I get a big fat 4 and a nice 5. And I said, okay.
Wow.
Now I see what it's like for CXC. Let me just. So I left high school with just my high school diploma.
Okay.
Did well, but no CXCs. I said, CXC is very easy, you know, it can be done.
Yeah.
Look here now, I'm going to sign up for JSC. No study, no nothing, because I wanted to get into teachers. I wanted to be a police officer first. Coming into high school, leaving high school, I wanted to be a police officer.
Okay.
So I went to do the test. But I was like 5 feet 4 inches, I'm short, so disappointment. And I'm like,
not go work, yeah.
I need a career, I need to be a police officer. So I said, all right then. Let me go and take some JSC, because JSC at the time could get you in the teacher's college.
Yeah.
So me just go sign up for 6. Me not go to school, me not study, me just go sign up, pay my money. Went and did my exam, passed 5 of them and failed 1. I said, that's so easy. Once you dedicate and you put your mind to something, you just get it done. I went back, I failed, I think history at the time. I went back another year and just paid for history. I said, let me see what typewriting is all about. Because I don't know about the subject, you know. Because I never liked typing, I liked electrical. In high school, and the teacher never gave me some vex with the teacher and everybody. Because I wanted to do electrical. I mean, just go sign up on the history and some typing, so I never passed that. I'm going to pass the history. So I'm going to start with my 6 JSC. I'm going to say, yeah, I can't go to teacher's college now.
Yeah.
But then, my parents couldn't afford sending all of us at any one time. So, them send one and they pay for one and they pay for one. I said, all right, I'm going to work. So I went and did some security work. I went to Free Zone and I worked at Free Zone. Did trading, standing up on my foot for many hours. And I said, there must be something at the time. My sister was working at Excelsior.
Yeah.
I just said, what you want to do? I said, I want to go back to school, I want to do some CXC, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a teacher. JSC subjects can't get me nowhere. I just said, come into the program. So I started the college in 1997 doing the preliminary technical course where you fix fan, iron, blender, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I started there. And it's been exciting. I was the only girl for about 6 months among 31 boys.
Wow.
And I said, Lorna Panton, I'm coming in the top 2.
Okay.
I must be first or second. I'm not going past that.
Yeah.
And I came.
There's expectations.
Right.
High expectations.
I'm coming in the top 2. 32 students was in the class. And I'm coming in the top 2 and I'm the only girl.
Oh.
So I told myself I wasn't going to be any gopher. I'm not going for any tour, not anything. I'm fixing things. So I started, my leadership qualities went in. I went and spoke to people from the high school, people from the community. We needed things to fix, and what we fix, for those who didn't get to carry home, we sell.
Okay.
For those who didn't have lunch again, we sell them and we buy lunch for those who didn't have. And then from that, we donated to children home, to elderly home, fixed things and us donate. So we became a leader at that point.
Yeah.
From the 1 year, I went on and did auto mechanic. Same 16 person in the class. There was another girl that joined us. I said, I'm coming in the top 2 again.
Yeah.
And I came in the top 2. I did my 116s and I finished in 2000 from Excel and I left. And I wanted a job at Excel, but I didn't get it. I went to Vauxhall and I taught at, in the lab tech, assistant lecturer in the computer department, working with Mr. Tabana, Vauxhall High School. Then my then former boss, Mr. Charles, came to call me and said, can you do Access, Microsoft Access? I said, yes. I don't know nothing about Microsoft. If you say, you know the word, I say, I know a little. Can you do Excel? Yes.
Okay.
He gave me a paper to do, but I did not know that it was his master's he was doing at UTEC.
Oh.
He gave me a paper to do, and I did it, and he got an A+. Because I tell myself, I'm not saying no to nothing.
Yeah.
If I don't know, I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
And he said, you have an interview at Excel. And I did not own a skirt. And I found one, it had a long split. I didn't know what to wear on an interview or nothing like that. And Charles Atkinson shielded me in that split until I went through my interview, got the job, and was successful. And I've been at Excelsior since 2001 to this very moment, moving from certificate to associate degree to bachelor's degree. And now I've completed my master's in education at University of the West Indies.
So I want you to tell persons what motivates you to, even though you're coming from an area where persons and your mom and your father weren't able to support you financially, what was your motivation?
One, you have to motivate yourself. That's one.
Yeah.
2, you have to realize what is your purpose. Why am I here? I'm here to do a job, to stand in the gap for someone else, or to be a motivator for someone else to see me, to see my action, let my action speak. And then I have a mantra. My condition is not my conclusion. So it does not matter where I am today, I know where I want to go and I know what it is that I want to achieve.
Yeah.
And if it is that you have a goal and an objective that you want to achieve, you have to work towards it.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And then persons have to be placed strategically in your life. So you must have some persons in your life who is going to tell you something that is motivating, be it your pastor,
So
your teacher. You associate yourself with persons who are not successful by any means, but successful where you can see how is it that they have achieved. Is it that they read a book? Is it that they put in the hours? Is it that they went and they spoke to somebody, they saw somebody having a hard life and they helped them, or you helped somebody or someone helped you? You must have to be strong or in a position to help the other person coming up. Because we have to be servers. Because our whole duty is to serve. And you can't lead unless you're willing to follow. So once I have those words and those things and those attitude, and your attitude will determine how far you go. So you have to have the right attitude. Sometimes you get upset, sometimes you get demotivated. Because even sometimes you want to think that you would going to
throw in the towel.
You are at a place where you think it's depression, and you may think it's not, and you want to go places, but nothing is happening fast, and you think, say, boy, nothing happening for me. You reach a point, you try gambling, you try drinking, you try smoking, that not working. And a man might come to you and say, babes, I like him. But he may tell you what you want to hear at that point, but it's not long term. It's not fulfilling, because at the end of the day, you will be crying, you may be happy for this moment, but you realize that God will never leave you, He will never forsake you. If not going to cause your tears to flow unnecessarily, because He answer even tears.
Yeah.
So if you understand that, you will one step, crawl if you must, creep if you must, but you're going to get there.
Yeah. So that is what you're trying to tell persons here, that you have to motivate yourself and have the right association.
Right association, motivate yourself and press.
Yeah.
And don't forget to pray. You have to pray, because you don't wake yourself up and you don't put yourself to bed.
Yeah.
You have to pray.
Sometimes I think as beings, we sometimes neglect that. Like, even though we're saying that, we have to pray, but it doesn't become in automatic.
Sometimes I don't remember how to pray. Sometimes I forget how to pray, because I'm so overwhelmed, because I'm thinking about self.
Yeah.
What is happening with me? Why everything I'm trying is not working?
Yeah.
Why I'm trying to build my house, it's going nowhere. I'm trying to further my education. I'm so qualified.
Yeah.
You want a good job and you want to make money fast and you want money to come your way, and it's not flowing.
Mm-hmm.
But bam, somebody comes and says, buy a lunch. Where did that person come from to know that you are hungry?
Yeah.
So sometimes that just gives you a kick in the face and say, God is real. Your belly is talking, your stomach is talking, but you spoke to no one, you told nobody.
That's true.
And out of nowhere, somebody showed up and provided for you. So sometimes those little things let me forget not to complain.
Okay.
And just give thanks.
Alright. So we're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. So we were talking about self-motivation, association, pressing and praying.
Yeah.
What else can you tell persons about life itself, that persons are going through a lot of things, depression, anxiety, because of the whole COVID-19 and because of the whole thing that they're going through? I know that your journey was never an easy one. So what else can you tell persons to cheer them up regarding religious, any topic you want to talk about?
All right. Where relationship is concerned, for me, I had a hormone problem for many years. I have a lot of male hormones, testosterone, more than estrogen. So I couldn't get pregnant. And then I got pregnant. I got married. I was married already for like 7 years, no babies. Got divorced, because I'm saying I didn't wait on God. I thought being in church and serving God, you're thinking about relationship, you want to have sex, and when you're growing up, you can't wait to come out to your parents. Also, when you be on your own, you want to manage yourself and manage your life. But then when you went out there and you meet everything, you want to go back to your parents' house and be a little girl again.
Yeah.
So, one, I forgot how to pray.
Yeah.
I went into self for the relationship. I didn't measure what I wanted, that the person should be Christ-like and love God like how they love the church, so the person would love me. I didn't watch how the person treat the parents. I didn't wait. I didn't investigate. I didn't do any research. I just jumped in with both feet.
Yeah.
That ended amicably. Second one now, I'm thinking, I don't have any children. When I'm gonna have a child, I'm getting old. What's happening? You know, God, what's happening? Okay. And I met Prince Charming. It was lovely. It was awesome. Everything. Mouth sweet, talk a lot, whispers, poetry. The whole works. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the one. Oh my God, it's awesome. And we worked together. We worked together like for 13 years.
Wow.
Had 2 children in the making. Most of the times he was not working, and I balance. Because I'm saying I love him. I want my children to have both parents. So we're working it out. We tried businesses. We tried everything to make sure that the both was balanced. But one thing just up one day and they said, oh, the marriage is over. At first, I wanted to kill him. I was bitter, I was enraged, I was seeing red and blue and black, no white before my eyes. But I had some friends who cried with me. I had some friends who prayed with me. I had some friends who provided for me. I said, Lorna, if you kill him, what happened to your children? Think about them.
Yeah.
And then I remember that God never leave me, never forsake me. And I said, I'm not a chicken. I'm a phoenix. I'm going to rise. And I started again speaking to myself, encourage myself, motivate myself. Lorna, there is not a time in your life that this man must see that you needed him, you depended on him, and everything is all about him and not you.
Okay.
And I started to focus on me and the things that, to ensure that the children needed me. So I had to, 1, focus on them. 2, then focus on me. So I could complete my bachelor's degree, still work, provide for the children, and then finish my master's, still with the children, making them happy.
Okay.
And I have friends in my life who, male friends, we're not in a relationship, but we can talk about anything relationship-wise. So my advice to persons now, don't rush into anything, don't jump into anything, do your research, ensure that 2 can't walk unless they agree.
Yeah.
So if you're not agreeing, just know that it's not going to work. The person must have your goals and your intention in their mind, as well as you have their goals and their intention in their mind.
Yeah.
So you can work together, so you can be on one page. We're on page 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among men.
Yeah.
So if we have that togetherness, we can have a reasoning. Relationships again, communication. You used to dress nice, you used to dress sexy, you do your hair, you do your makeup, you do your face. Every now and again you go to a spa day. When you get married, oh, I have my husband, I don't need to do that. Your hair become raggedy, your hair become twisted, you don't fix up yourself anymore. His eyes is going to be elsewhere, his eyes going to be wandering.
Yeah.
When you know that your partner should be the one who is making your eyes stay on the prize.
Okay.
So you do that fix up.
So you're telling all the ladies to
Ensure
Yeah.
that your husband's eyes stay on the prize.
Okay.
One of my pastor friends used to say, when the breasts drop and the hips go and the babies come and the stretch marks come and the teeth fall out, what will happen?
Mm-hmm.
So it cannot be all about sex, because you can't be having sex 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
You must be able to cook, provide the meal, as we're having today, delicious meal. You have the channels, you learn to cook, learn recipe, fix up something, find out what he likes, learn to bake. You burn up a lot of rice, do some rice porridge several times before you learn to cook.
Yeah.
You know? Burn up a lot of flour, burn up a lot of things, but learn.
Okay.
So if you know that him like him fruit punch and him punch and every little once in a while, you blend up a little something and stuff, but sometimes you can do all of that and the person still go. So it's all about communication.
Yeah.
What is it that you need or you want to see happen? And again, if it is that we're praying together and we're hearing from the being, we're hearing from, you have a channel, you have a path to life where we're going. Once children come, you know the attention of a look out for you. You have to set aside time, make time for each other.
Yeah.
So
I hear you talk about what women can do. What do you think men can do to?
there's a thing called communication. Men need to find time for their spouses. You're two different individuals. You have your time where you want to hang out with your friends, and sometimes your friends are not your wife's friend or your partner's friend, but your partner needs to know your friend.
Yeah.
Who you are, where you're going, what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're not watching you, and they're not finding out, or some men would say, you're trying to find out where I am to go and do your thing. It's not about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it is that I have a friend, Amanda, you're supposed to know that Amanda is my friend, and Amanda can come to my house, hang out with me, we eat, we drink, we get together with your friends and my friends at any point in time, and we have a good get together.
Okay.
But when it is that you begin to hide, the phone calls come in and you have to hide to go and speak to the person, a big red flag come out.
Yeah.
Darkness is there, something is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So you must be able to say, hey, Mark, this is Tony, or Tony, this is John, and this is my friend from high school, or my friend from primary school, or my friend from up the road.
Yeah.
You're not going to come in and not there.
The transparency.
You must have communication.
Yeah.
And you have your time when you want to hang out with your friend, but Lorna, where's Tony? Tony up by Mark. Them having a hangout, them having a little birthday together, we have a little man thing, and you know for a fact that it's men up there.
Yeah.
So trust has to be in a relationship, but you also have to be able to trust each other.
Okay.
Sometimes the men can wash the little woman's foot, you know, if you go get a pedicure machine and get some water in one pan, scrub her little two of them, get up in the morning, and one morning when she don't want to make breakfast, you go make little tea,
Right.
boil little syrup tea, it may cool, it may, and ladies, the food may burn up and it may not taste good. Eat it still, because guess what?
He's trying.
He's trying, the effort is there. 1 day, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks down the line, he said, babes, come, we're going to the kitchen. We're going to do something together. We're going to mess up something. It may spoil, may not come out together. You cut up the season, we dash in something, and we're creating a meal together.
Yeah.
We don't know what to call it. When we're done, fix it, we call it a name. Chop up some vegetables, some seasoning, or some rice, or some chicken, or some mackerel, or some sardine, and throw some something.
Yeah.
You know, some something I feel, but guess what?
But
We're having
it's-
fun together.
Right. Yeah.
You're talking, you're playing some music, you make some pizza. When we're done, we probably may have diarrhea, but I mean,
I know that a lot of persons who run in the inner city don't know how to show that kind of love that you're talking about. They're used to the roughness and they're used to the hardcore
all right.
kind of love.
One thing that has caused that
Yeah.
most of the time in the community is absentee fathers.
Yeah.
Because most time in the inner city community, a woman may say she's pregnant and she have a baby and the man gone. Head of hurt man gone. All right. We don't encourage abortion, so we say bring a child. We as sometimes women in the community, we give a little pampers, feed, and help you along the way. A man come on and say him like you. That means that the man want to get you pregnant, he may go give you a little helping hand.
Yeah.
You say, man, you have money, you going to help me, you know. Man, you give my next baby, him gone. So you find that you have 5, 6 kids, different fathers, and none of them have them father, and you're nowhere, still in a little one home setting, when you, the individual, never make a plan for yourself.
Yeah.
You have that child, yeah, you made a mistake, but you have to rise above that and say, listen, I'm going to sell 2 bag juice, I'm going to babysit somebody else's child, I'm going to do some sewing, I'm going to do some crochet, I'm going to make something of myself to get to this point where the person see me. When you help yourself, other persons will come and help you.
Yeah.
But they're not going to see you getting pregnant for different men who are gone, and then you say, baby want sugar, baby want come in, and somebody is constantly giving you out of what they don't have. You have to help yourself, and when you buy a pound of corn meal, somebody will give you half pound from your pound, make you half pound and a half.
Yeah.
So as individuals, again, the responsibility is on you to better yourself.
Yeah. I know that for sure that young men don't know how to express that love, that tenderness. They don't know how to do that because they will say, as you were saying, their father is not there. They weren't taught how to be a man. And because a lot of ladies were around them, they feel like that is just being too mushy, that is just being too girly, feminine. So to give their spouse that ensure feeling that, you know, I'm sending my love your way. They see that as a feminine.
Well, as a man, everything that you taught, you learn. Children need both parents. That's
Yeah.
one. But everything that you taught, you learn, throw that out the window when you become an adult and relearn, rethink, redo. You need a male figure in your life in terms of learning a man's role. What is a man's responsibility?
Yeah.
And most of the time you get that from the church.
And so for women too.
So for women too,
Yeah.
you need the female mentors, you need the elderly women who knows back in the days what needs to be done.
Yeah.
We're there in this microwave thing and this machine thing where we not try to learn to do nothing more hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get the hands-on to get a feel of what needs to be done. When you know what needs to be done, you can run to the machine. But you have to learn practical hands-on. So you go to the old lady in the community, the mothers of the community, the elderly of the community, they have the information.
Yeah.
And you get the advice from them as to how to be a woman in your house, how to be a man in your household. Some of them don't know either, but their family, but you can take what they have given you and build upon it based on your
Yeah,
experiences.
so you're making actually a foundation.
Right.
Right.
As a man, you have to know that what is a man's role? Again, it goes back to purpose. What is my purpose? Why am I here?
Yeah.
Times gone by, we were hunter-gatherers. We're living in technological age now. We're technology. But you have to provide for your family. That's your role. You have to provide for your family, and the woman is a support.
Yeah.
Now we have female-led households, female-led businesses, females in the schools. But the females are saying that the men get timid or afraid when a woman work more money than them and she thinks she hype and she go on. Some of them take it and tell us still, which is true. But I mean, once it is that the person is working with you, you're able to say, this is a situation and I can manage it and I can handle it. Again, do your research. What's my purpose? Why am I here? If you have those things at the top of your goal and your objective, you'll manage and move through life well.
And that is what you did too, because I realized, as you were saying, that from a young age to now, your journey was never easy.
Wasn't.
I think you should write a book.
I've started a book several occasions, several times. I have so many experiences. And then I do, it's not like I'm a procrastinator, but sometimes I don't follow through. But now I will sit down and think about it, and probably I'll do a memoirs.
Yeah, something
you know?
about your life.
Right. I'll do that.
Because even to say that, even at Excelsior, because I work at Excelsior, which is my co-work as well, right? Just to say that you're like a beaming rock for a lot of persons there.
Right.
Even though you're not, it's not like you're even the principal or even the vice principal, but if somebody in the auxiliary wants assistant, they know that they can find Lorna. If admin wants an assistant, they know that they can find Lorna. If somebody by outside and knows them getting in some trouble or them want Lorna.
Because you have to be in the know, you have to keep yourself, you have to have a great mindset as to what motivates you, what motivates persons. And my former boss, Charles Atkinson, and among several others, I have been inspired by them. And then I read other books, I read widely, I listen to motivational speakers talk about their journey, where they're coming from, and how is it that they did not have and how they tend to be. So sometimes when you see a person driving an Audi series or a Range, you may think, say, I don't tell them to save up them $1 and say, all right, I'm going to do that investment, or I'm going to bank, or I'm going to buy a piece of property or something to get there. But they worked hard. Some persons had one shoe, some persons had no clothes. But when you can bless someone with a shoes when nobody know about it, that's motivation enough. And for me, I give of myself. So persons can come to me, I give of myself. I don't have finances to give, but I can teach you to read, I can teach you to write, I can give you some advice, I can tell you the way forward in certain things, and I'll give it to you. And I try to encourage my co-workers, motivate them to say, whether you're an ancillary worker or not, this is not your conclusion. So whatever you want to be in life, you can step out to be that person.
Yeah. There's no limit.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying even in
so
my
what
last
is
video,
it you want to go?
that limitation. So sometimes we ourselves, God never place limitation for we now.
We're the only persons who place limitation
We
on
put
ourselves.
limitation on ourselves. And once we put limitation on ourselves, our mind think that we cannot pass that place that we
Right.
put. So even though when the sky is there saying, oh, come Lorna, come.
Oh my God. I remember at one point I was going to New York and I was like, oh my God, look at the clouds. Can I touch them? Can I touch them? And I was like, one day. And I always try to sit at the window seat so I can look at the sea. And I'm saying, God, goodie, man. Somebody, you can go up on the top of a mountain and you still can't touch a cloud. You're in an airplane and you still can't touch a cloud. But God made it possible for you to go on that journey. And it's just awesome. It's an awesome feeling to just know that you're not getting into fights, you're not quarreling with anybody, you get rid of the negative and you just try to motivate yourself to just one step to self-actualization at every point of time.
Yes.
What is it that you really need to achieve?
Yes.
So,
and I know that persons can do it. You can be the person that you want to be.
of course.
And purpose, because it's not really we define ourselves.
We don't.
It's God actually defined us. God knows our story, it's just we are acting it out.
Yes,
We
true.
are not knowing.
It's true.
We are like a book being played, and God is the author. He's the
Amen.
illustrator, He's everything. So we don't know which way we're going to go, but God will lead us there.
So true.
Yeah, that's what I personally believe. So we're going to come to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in with Lorna and me
Thank
and
you.
her journey. And I hope you learned something or her story impact you some way along the line. She talked about her journey growing up. She talked about how you can be self-motivated, how you can just press on and to be the person that you want to be. And no matter where you are, in relationships as well, male, female, you can achieve and be the person that you want to be. So anything you want to say before it goes?
Well, just be you. Think about, don't watch anybody. Don't matter what people want to say about you. Just press forward to that higher calling. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can be achieved. You're the only person who can put a limitation on your life. So to be successful, you stand in your way.
Yeah.
To be glorified, you stand in your way. To be rich, you stand in your way.
Yeah.
Have a blessed day.
Yeah. So bye guys.